It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Showtime! Geno Jones, showtime. Yes, I am here. Can I do something here? All right, we just want to make a little adjustment here. So I'm here live, Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Shout out to everybody live in Los Angeles and Las Vegas and Portland, Oregon, where we just had 2 people shot by these ICE. I don't want to call them federal agents, because they are thugs. They're worse than thugs. They're like domestic terrorists. They're engaging in criminal acts and claiming that they're just, we're just trying to, oh God. I hate that I have to talk about this again. So let's just cut through the chase, all right? Let me tell everybody to subscribe to my YouTube channel right here, right now. Shout out to all my new viewers. Shout out to everybody that's been down with me from day one. I wanted to shout out and thank my sponsor. Shout out to the town of Hollywood, South Carolina, Mayor Chardell Murray and Murray's Mortuary for being the first new sponsor of the Geno Jones Show for 2026. Murray's Mortuary, 3 locations here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro area, North Charleston, South Carolina, Johns Island, South Carolina, which is part of the Charleston, South Carolina metro, and Hollywood, South Carolina, which is still part of the metro. We call it the Low Country, the metro Charleston, South Carolina area. It takes up a lot of space. All right, I want to thank everybody for watching. So last night, if you missed last night's monologue, please go back. You got to check it out. It was fire. I was seething. I was seething as I step off, because the enemy is busy. Because, the enemy doesn't want to hear the truth. But on this show, our motto is we tell the truth and shame the devil. So angry was not the word. I was seething. Woman, Renee Nicole, I forgot her. She has another name, Renee Nicole Good. And it was another name. I didn't get a chance to write it down. It'll come to me. I guess that was her, because she got married a second time. But anyway, Renee Nicole Good, 37 years old, a mother of 3, including a 6-year-old son who lost his dad about 6 years ago. So now there's a young man, 6 years old, that's an orphan. She was shot, she was murdered, and it was caught on video by multiple cameras, cell phone cameras. I'm pretty confident these are cell phone videos. Multiple people in this particular neighborhood in Minneapolis, only about 8 blocks away from where George Floyd was murdered by this dude. His name is really irrelevant right now, because I didn't even bother writing it down. But we'll name check him, but because this is not about him, because it's probably a part of his personality that wants this attention. This is intentional. This inhumanity, this cruelty, it's intentional. It is, first of all, it has been sanctioned. It has been basically ordered. This behavior has been just sent. It's like a decree has been sent down from Orange Hitler in the Oval Office in the White House. So you had this woman, a U.S. citizen, a mother of 3, murdered by a so-called ICE agent. These are, language is powerful, and the tongue has the power of life and death. So I try to be very judicious with my vocabulary and with the words that I choose. But the action, the level of inhumanity that I saw yesterday displayed by that ICE agent who murdered this woman, who murdered a woman that was trying to drive away from you thugs and criminals. And then you leaned into the passenger side of her car like this. This video that's been frozen frame by frame. And you see this killer lean over as the car is going past him, not running. So the lies that this cult has told you that, oh, their car was stuck in ice and they couldn't get out and the woman, was interfering. No, there was no ice. There was no ice on the pavement. Those streets have been paved. There was no ice. There was no car stuck. It is clear to see that once the woman backed up, because you had one of these ICE thugs that tried to snatch her door open, she backed up and then she made a sharp right turn, like at a 45-degree angle, to avoid the killer. And they freeze the video frame by frame, and you see clearly by probably about 3 feet that the car avoids the murderer, the killer, the murderer, and as the car's pointing that way, and as she's driving by, just as I guess her face is passing where this killer is, you see him leaning over and he shoots point blank, shoots her in the head, and kills her. And now, just within the last couple hours, some more federal ICE agents have shot 2 people who are in the hospital in Portland, Oregon. And I pray that these people who were shot by these federal thugs, America's version of, so Hitler had the brown shirts. It was like his own kind of paramilitary, it wasn't the official German army. It was like his own little personal army. Mussolini had the black shirts. He's turned these federal agents into brown shirts or black shirts. His own little paramilitary organization to spread fear and intimidation. It's not going to work. Orange Hitler, what you need to understand, you're only pissing people off more. But they're not going to give you because you want this, this is intentional to trigger enough violence for this asshole to basically declare martial law. You should be very careful what you want, because what you think you want, Orange Hitler, and what you are really pushing for and pushing the American people for, because really, you don't really need a justification. But what you think you want, and what this MAGA cult and Stephen Miller and all these racist, misogynist demons who have no humanity, these inhumans, what you want, you have no idea. Because what you're going to get, you think you're going to get the violence, but what you're going to get a massive movement. Politically, you're going to have people that's going to show up in the midterms that's going to make the turnout for Barack Obama look like a Sunday holiday when everybody's at home chilling, a Sunday afternoon in the dead of winter. And that people are finally, it's taken a while, but I've said before, karma, I'm quoting the famous philosopher Damaris Jones. Karma, she's a slow bitch, but she'll always show up. She might be slow. She's a slow bitch, but she'll definitely eventually show up. And that karma is going to be in the form, in many forms. One of the forms is going to be, people are just going to get to the point they're going to be like, fuck it. Let's shut down the economy. Said it before. I've said it countless number of times. The way to get to the real way to get Orange Hitler's attention, because see, he wants people to get out in the streets, and he wants violence and riots and people, burning down buildings and businesses. No. See, that's what he wants. But what the people who finance this madness, these CEOs and these billionaires, because see, they are the puppet masters. Orange Hitler and Stephen Miller, they are puppets. They are puppets controlled by the strings of the puppet master billionaires like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg and the CEO of Google and Tim Cook at Apple, and these other Bill Ackerman and so many billionaires. I could go the DeVos family. I could the wife, the widow of Sheldon Adelson, his wife. These billionaires are pulling this asshole strings because they just want tax cuts and they want tax breaks for these corporations. They just want more money. And they don't care how they get it. So if it means that they have to take away 14, 15, 16, 20 million people's subsidies so they can afford to get health insurance through Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, or if they have to take away money from these federal programs that support, that go to pay for child care and daycare, they don't care. They don't care. And they don't care about you, poor working class or middle class, these MAGA cult members that think somehow that red hat, that MAGA hat and that Trump flag is going to save your ass, and it won't, because they don't give a shit about you. Orange Hitler doesn't give a shit about any poor white person. He don't care. He don't give a shit about anybody poor or middle class or working class. Whiteness, this whole made-up construct, this made-up con game of whiteness was created by the wealthy elites back in the 17th century, in the 1680s, to pit the peasants, which is what they called poor Europeans. Europeans never called themselves white. They didn't identify as white until the 1680s, and they created this construct. It's a con game. That's what it is. It's a con. It's made up. Race and this concept of whiteness, which is not rooted in any fact or science. There's nothing in the human genome. There's nothing in human DNA that will come back and tell you, that you are 92%, you are 87% white. It will not. It won't. Because whiteness, unlike your ethnicity, to say your DNA, your ancestry says that, your parents, your family is from France or Germany or Eastern Europe or maybe Great Britain, or Scotland, Scottish, or Irish, or Southeast Asian, or one of the many countries on the continent of Africa, Nigeria, Ethiopia, Ghana, Eritrea, Uganda, Morocco. I could go on and on and on. So this construct, this congregate whiteness is made up, and your whiteness won't protect you. I know you think it will, but ask the family of Renee Nicole Good, because her whiteness didn't protect her. Because she wasn't bowing down and kissing this regime's ass, and she didn't bow down to America's version of the Fuhrer, Orange Hitler. That's why I call him that. So what many of you MAGA red hat wearing, you're finding out now, because many of you all had health insurance through Obamacare, and you hated because it was a black man. But some of you all would be dead today if it wasn't for health care that you only are able to afford to have because of this black man. This N-word is the reason that your ass is alive today, or the reason that your family member, your wife, or your child, or your parent is alive today because of health insurance and the subsidies and the health insurance program, healthcare program that was created. And actually, the weird thing was that this whole Obamacare health plan was a Republican plan, the Heritage Foundation. This was basically a plan that Mitt Romney had as governor of Massachusetts. And President Obama just remixed it and called it Obamacare. So you dumbasses don't even really, you was so mad just because, oh, this Negro, this N-word, you know, it's no good because his name was on it. And he didn't even call it Obamacare. It was the dumbass racists over there at the Fox propaganda channel that branded it, started calling it Obamacare. The official name, the actual name, is the Affordable Care Act because it made health insurance and health care affordable for tens of millions of people that could not afford it. So now, it's not affordable anymore. And you've got letters in the mail, you got emails, and now you are paying $200 a month for the health insurance plan for you and your family. Now it's $2,000 a month, and you can't afford it. Went from 300 to 900, 600 to 3,000, and you can't afford it now. And your boy, Orange Hitler, he don't have some, well, let's just send them checks. One check, in theory, but he didn't control because the president would, here's a quick civics lesson. Here's a quick civics lesson. The president doesn't control the purse, what they call. You know who controls the budget and the money in the federal government? It is the House of Representatives. Now, it's barely MAGA controlled, but that might flip by the end of the month. It's that tight. And you have many of these MAGA, Marjorie Taylor Greene, the bad built butch body, bleached blonde, the bad bleached blonde, the bad bleached blonde, bad built butch body, B, she was like the MAGA queen. She worshiped the ground. Her orange Lord and Savior was Donald Trump till he wasn't. Because she got to meet these women who were victims of Jeffrey Epstein and a whole lot of powerful men, and probably Orange Hitler too. She's like, wait a minute. So every day, more and more of these MAGA cult members are coming, they are emerging from this cult. They're being deprogrammed. And you know what's deprogramming them? Not a pastor or a priest or a minister or a rabbi or an imam. You know what is deprogramming them? Reality. When they got that email, that letter that said that their health insurance premium was going to go from $20,000 a year or $15,000 a year to $60,000 a year. From $300 a month to $900 a month. Or to buy a box of cereal that used to be $5 for a giant size, that's now $9.20. And a pack of chicken wings that used to be maybe $8, $9, $10 is now $20 for a big big pack of 14, 15, 16 chicken wings. And what you don't realize is that he doesn't even control the price. No president controls the price of gas. But gas, $3, maybe a little less. What good is that doing when your insurance premiums have gone up from $300 a month to $900 a month? And a pack of chicken wings, giant, big pack for a family, pack of chicken wings that used to be $10, now $20. And the giant box of cereal for the whole family that was $5, maybe $6, is now $9.20. So Orange Hitler wants to declare martial law. He wants chaos, confusion. The corruption is already here. He's afraid of being impeached and convicted. He knows that he's going to lose the House and the Senate. But people are seeing these ICE agents out of fucking control. What's the best way to get Orange Hitler's attention? What's the best way to shut this shit down outside of showing up in numbers? You need to show up with an army of people to vote. An entire nation, 90 million people didn't even bother to vote November 6, 2024. How that worked out for you. 77 million people voted for this madness. They voted for this madness that created the permission structure for a 37-year-old white woman to be murdered in broad daylight in the middle of the street in Minneapolis, Minnesota, with people all around with cell phone cameras who were recording everything, and they didn't even give a shit. So if you have a climate and a permission structure to where these federal agents who are Nazis with masks over their face feel so emboldened and know that they've got bosses that will stick to the lie when the video shows you clearly this woman didn't attempt to run over nobody, no police officer, no person. This woman was scared for her life and was trying to get away from these ICE agents, and this bastard, this cretin, this animal, shot this woman point blank, fired at least 2 shots, and shot her in her head center mass and killed her. And if they will do that to a 37-year-old white woman with another white person in the car in broad daylight, somewhere around 10 a.m. Central Time, and now 2 other people, I don't know if they're black or white, in Portland have been shot. As of now, they're in the hospital. So if they are out of control, the only thing that can, 2 things that can shut this down is to show up like you never showed up in November. But before that, the only way to get people's attention with money and power, because remember, Trump, Orange Hitler is just a puppet. It's the billionaires that are financing him, that have financed and funded this madness and continue to do it. These oil companies, Exxon and Chevron, and companies, Citgo, one of these billionaires just bought, there's a gas called Citgo, C-I-T-G-O, Citgo. Some areas in America, watching me now, you've probably seen these Citgo gas stations. That was actually a company that was owned by the government of Venezuela. And one of these wealthy billionaires that have supported Orange Hitler has now bought that company, and it's still, their gas still comes primarily out of Venezuela. So these billionaires don't give a shit as long as they continue to get more money. So the only way to get their attention, to force them to get his attention, and to rein you need to come, which we have to do is to make these billionaires basically do what folks we doing is, hey, get your boy, you need to come get your man. Okay? You need to come get your man. Come get your boy. You gotta come get him. And the only way to make these billionaires say, hey, oh, all right, crazy ass Elon Musk. what is it? Ketamine, the ketamine king, Elon Musk, or Mark Zuckerberg, or Bill Ackerman, some of these other billionaires. Yeah, Jeff Bezos, you better get your man. The DeVos family, Mrs. Adelson, you've given Orange Hitler all this money, you need to talk to, come get your man. And the only way to force these billionaires is to have them check this madness and this evil, this demon, this inhuman form, is to dig in their pockets. That means we're going to have to shut this economy down. And I've been encouraging this. This is the only way to get billionaires' attention. The only way to get people's attention with money and power is to dig in their pockets. Because the only God they worship is money. And that is the only thing that will get them to at least alter their behavior. It won't change their moral foundation, because a lot of them don't even have morals. They don't operate on morality or compassion, empathy, humanity. Elon Musk said that empathy is a weakness. That should tell you everything. A lot of these billionaires believe that they somehow, just because they were fortunate enough to become a billionaire, that there's something special about them. That what they don't realize, it's the people that put you in a position, the people that bought your products and goods and services that allow you, and the people that work for your companies that you underpay or don't allow to form a union, that you've treated like shit, that you fired, that you've harassed, and racially harassed, sexually assaulted. But oh, now Karma's here. Karma is here, baby. Yes, she is here for all of you. Now, the bad part is that this karma is going to be so intense. A lot of people that have sent this negative, hateful energy out into the universe, when their karma hits them in the face, when their karma body slams their ass, like somebody in a UFC fight or in a WWE match, unfortunately, some innocent people will probably get hurt just because this karma is going to be so intense. But the only way to shut this shit down quickly is to shut this economy down quickly. Shut it down. Now, America did less spending this holiday season that just passed than they did in 24, but it wasn't enough, and I tried to tell people, and I will continue to tell the truth and shame the devil and speak truth to power. The only way we can shut this down is to shut down the money that's going to these billionaires. Dig in their pockets. Super Bowls and college football championships, Super Bowl parties and Valentine's Day and all that, Easter. We ain't spending money on none of it. None of it. Bare essentials. And on top of it, I'm saying buy black. Or support a company that is not supporting this regime, this madness, and this inhumanity. Because it is a choice. This is not about a political ideology. It is not about Democrats. There is no longer a Republican Party. There is a cult of MAGA. And there's one party, a Democratic Party, that at least believes in humanity, that wants to lean into humanity and try to make sure that the social safety net is protected so millions of people can live decently and have health care, and children can afford to if money, because the federal minimum wage in 2025 is $7.25 an hour, $7.25 an hour, and a box of cereal, a giant box of cereal is $9.20, and a family pack of chicken wings of about 14 wings or so, 12, 14 is about $20. These billionaires don't give a shit about you. They don't. They never had. The wealthy created this construct, this con game of race to pit poor Europeans that they call peasants against other poor groups across the country, and then across the world, the globe, and then they saw this continent. Oh my God, look, gold, all the minerals and diamonds, and they can grow all type of agriculture, rice, and so. Then they came in and literally the Berlin Conference. You had these European countries and leaders sat down at a fucking table like Thanksgiving. The Berlin Conference, ChatGPT, Google that. Aisha, AI that. So the only way to get people's attention, the quickest way to shut this shit down is to shut down this economy. Which means probably it's going to have to be what they call a national strike, where like folks just say, fuck it. Ain't nobody going to work. Let's shut this shit down. Like a circuit breaker in your house. Boom. Shut this economy down. Stop shopping. Blame it on Orange Trump. Blame it on Orange Hitler. Or Orange Trump, whatever you want to call him. Tell the kids. Orange Hitler messed this up. He effed it up. It's the only thing that will force these billionaires to fly down to Mar-a-Lago or to fly his ass up to their mansion or their compound or to show up at the White House and be like, hey, let me holler at you. You fucking up our money. Now, we don't care what you do to these poor folks. We don't care about these ICE agents. We don't care how many people they shoot and kill. We don't care. We don't care about you taking away health care because we want the money anyway. So you take that money, those subsidies, we want that money. So we're good with that. But you're going to have to, some of this shit you got to slow down because now folks are saying, we are not spending money, period. Everybody, black people, white people. I don't care if you identify Democrat, Republican, independent, Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Jew, agnostic, atheist, you name it. When enough people say, shut this shit down, stop spending money, the way to get people's attention with money and power is to what? Dig in their pockets. Dig in them fucking pockets so deep that your arm go all the way down to their shoe. That's going to be the fastest way to shut this madness down because that's what it's coming to. It's a choice between humanity and inhumanity. You are team humanity or you are team inhumanity. And humanity is going to win out. And now that maybe more people will understand that this whole construct, this con of race and whiteness, it was a con all along. It was a con. You were hoodwinked, you were bamboozled, so they could beat you out of your money. They have you distracted and thinking the reason that your 10 generations of family still living in some hills in Appalachia or some rural area and why your farm foreclosed or why your kids couldn't afford to go to college or why you can't afford to go see a dentist and get some dentures or some implants, it's because of some Negro or N-word or Muslim or immigrant or Venezuelan or Mexican. When it was someone white, it was a white person that looked like you, that never gave a shit about you, to use race to deceive and trick your ass, to have you pissed off at somebody that had no power ever in the history of this country, that was founded, stolen land. This country founded violence, stolen land, stolen free labor from Africa, stolen land, murdered the Native Americans, indigenous people. Come on now. I'm telling the truth and shame the devil. But everybody, all of us, was put in this trick bag because these billionaires have been doing this for centuries, and they figured out ways to pit the poor and working class people, the majority of humanity, against each other, so their greedy, selfish asses could control and contain, but control as much, if not all, of the social, economic, and political power. That's this whole con game of race was created. So a small handful of people in Europe and in America, because they exported that shit. Racism wasn't created. Race wasn't created in America. It was created in Europe, but America like perfected it. Hitler studied America's hate and racism. As a matter of fact, the Nuremberg laws, the laws that were written and passed to justify murdering and the attempted assassin, was 6 million were killed, exterminated, shot, gassed. And the laws that allowed that Holocaust to happen, called the Nuremberg laws. Well, guess what was the blueprint, and who wrote the blueprint for the Nuremberg laws? It was America. Germany. They just copy and pasted America's Jim Crow laws and just slapped a new name on top of it, the Nuremberg laws. And then South Africa, you had the Dutch that came down and went to South Africa, did the same thing, copied and pasted America's Jim Crow laws and just slapped a new name on the top, apartheid laws. Shut this shit down. Stop shopping. The way to shut this shit down and to stop it is to shut down the economy. The way to get the attention, the way to get the people's attention who have the money and power, the way to get the attention of people with money and power is to dig in their pockets. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. Shout out to everybody that's watching live. I love the comments. Mother, of course, you know I love you, my #1 fan. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and you, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show live Monday through Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, 4:30 out on the West Coast, baby. West Side. Tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Man, I am about 34 new subscribers from becoming a YouTube partner. That means that I'll get that YouTube bag. My media company, this channel, will get that YouTube bag every month. I think that's how it works. It's so important that we support black-owned media, all of our black-owned institutions, because this regime has done everything to destroy every foundation and institution of Black America. 500,000 black women unemployed. Probably about the same number of black men. Black unemployment in America, over 8%. Higher than it's been since COVID, the pandemic. Now, only a few of y'all, black folks, all skin folk and kinfolk, but it was few of you all was bought into this bullshit and brainwashed. But 92% of black women, 80% of black men, they voted for humanity, and they didn't vote for this madness. But 53% of white women voted for a man who said about women in general, including white women, that you could grab them by the pussy. And I apologize to any woman that's watching this show, but I am quoting what this man said on tape, that you could grab them by the pussy and get away with it if you were a celebrity. They'll let you. That's what he said. And somehow 53% of white women that have voted in America 3 times, make that make sense, voted for a man that has created a permission structure for a 37-year-old white woman with 3 children, including a 6-year-old son that had already lost his father. This same man who's told the world that you could grab women by the pussy has created the permission structure for a 37-year-old white woman to be murdered in broad daylight in the middle of the street with cell phone cameras recording in the middle of a street in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And somehow 53% of white women still voted for that man, not to mention to what, the 65, somewhere, the mid 60s, upper 60%, close to 70% of white men that voted for this madness. And many of you all now are about to lose your health insurance. Many of you all who are poor, who had your SNAP benefits cut, stopped for a while. Talking about cutting more. That's trying to affect your Medicaid and your Medicare and the money for child care, the federal dollars that were going to programs to provide and pay for daycare centers and to pay for child care. And you voted for this because you didn't want this black woman. Or you was mad because this Negro, this N-word, got voted president twice. And you thought your whiteness, you thought that they loved you because y'all had the same lack of melanin? They don't give a shit about your melanin. None of that. But they told you that. They made you buy into that whiteness so they could continue to basically bilk your ass, or we used to say on the south side of Chicago, you got buked, to buke your ass. I was trying to decide that I want to say buke. You got conned. You got bamboozled. And race has always been a diversion created by the wealthy elite to make sure that poor people that look like them, Europeans, would blame people of color for their position in life if they weren't a billionaire. If only these Negroes, these N-words, or these Mexicans, or these Muslims, or these Native Americans, these Indians, these women, or these gays and lesbians. If it wasn't for them, I'd be a billionaire too. No, your dumb ass wouldn't. Half of you all can't even read. The literacy rates that are the highest are in the poorest states in America. They have the population, more whites than blacks. The illiteracy rate in America. Yeah, Google, Chat GPT that. What is the illiteracy rate of white America? Thank you. thank you for letting me be a part of your life. The next live show is going to be Friday. The Geno Jones Show live returns Friday. Tomorrow, if you're watching the recorded version, but if you're watching me live, we'll see you Friday, 7:30. We'll try to switch it up. Some good things have happened. I didn't get a chance to talk about it because of this madness. But I just want to encourage all of us that we have the power. We're all we got. But the truth is we are all we need, and we have everything we need when we come together. We've got the power, and the cult and the billionaires that control the cult, they are pulling the strings, they know it. And they know this shit is about to go extinct. It's like a starter that's about to burn out. It's like a child that's about to go to sleep. You know, if any parent, when your kids were young, a certain age, when you could tell when they were sleepy because they would act out. They would just, they would get busy or just the tantrums, just because they were fighting to sleep. But eventually, that sleep would sit your ass down. Shut your ass down, go to sleep. So this extreme version of hate, white Christian nationalism that's rooted and based in bigotry, fear, and hatred. And a lot of it is self-hatred. They hate themselves. And they fear what they don't know because they hate themselves. And they're so insecure. And they project this insecurity, and they act out through the hate and bigotry and false bravado or white supremacist, white Christian nationalism. We are the superior race. Dumbass, there's no fucking such thing as race. That goes to show you, and it goes to show me how dumb you are. You don't even understand. You claim to be intelligent. I don't care how many damn degrees. I don't care what doctorate. I don't care what letters or alphabets you have before your first name. My grandfather said you can be an educated fool. And the wisest, the smartest man I have ever known, ever in my life is the man who quit school in 3rd grade to get a job, to start working, to help take care of his mother and his 3 younger brothers. And that was a man named Conway Jones. And I was blessed to be raised by that man, along with my grandmother, who was, if there's such thing as a patron saint in the flesh, she was a patron saint. If there's such things as angels, I know one person for sure. Because if Gene Jones is not an angel in heaven, then heaven and angels don't exist. Because if anybody qualified to be an angel or for sainthood, it was Gene Jones, my grandmother. And the smartest person I have ever known was Conway Jones. So you can be an educated fool, as he said. All the degrees, and education is so important, but there are different forms of education, because you can be miseducated. Carter G. Woodson's book, The Miseducation of the Negro, but not only has the American Negro been miseducated, the American white person has been miseducated. And many people have been miseducated by this small handful of people who have controlled the social, economic, and political power. Yes, the people that have controlled the social, economic, and political power for centuries. The game hadn't changed. Just the names and the players have. But the game is the same. We can change the game. We are changing the game, and that's the fear. Drop the mic, Geno. Let me get out of here. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments below. Please click on, give the show the thumbs up. Even if you're pissed off, I don't care. But please like, and please leave your comments in the comment section below. That's important. We got to trick these algorithms. Let them know who's got the hottest show in humanity, the hottest show anywhere in the solar system right here. In any universe, galaxy, you name it, we got it right here. The Geno Jones Show. So let them know by leaving your comments in the comments section, by clicking on the thumbs up, by spreading the word. You can copy and paste the link. You can tag, you can share the show. You can tag it on everybody you know, tag it on their social media pages. You can share and tag it on your page. You can share and tag it on all those social media pages that you follow or you know or that you are a fan of. You have my blessing. You can go ahead and chop up. You can screenshot some of the video. You can chop it up 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 2 minutes, whatever. 3 minutes, 5 minutes. All right, so shout out to Markel Bailey. He's the official barber of the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram, Kelby Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection out, LX.N, like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, LX.NCL _ LX.NCL _ on Instagram. We'll see you live. Once again, please like the show, click on the thumbs up. Please, 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 please leave your comments in the comment section below. Click on that thumbs up button below right there and tell everybody to subscribe to the show and my channel. And we'll see you live Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, 6:30 Chicago time. Stand up, everybody, on Central Time, 4:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. If you missed any of this episode, go back right now, and you can binge watch this and all my back episodes all this week. First week back, the first shows of 2026. I told y'all know how I get down. I'm coming out swinging, baby. I'm like Ali in his prime, the jam. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. All right, get out of here, clown. I'm out, baby.
When Geraldine and I tell our girls about growing up in the 80s and 90s, it's like talking about a whole different planet. We used to play outside till the streetlights came on. We drank straight out of the water hose, ran everywhere, explored, got lost, got hurt, busted our knees, our heads, and our butts. Nobody knew where we were, what we were doing, or who we were with. I'm Chris Jones. I'm a rocket scientist, a minister, and a girl dad. And I have a theory about why childhood and everything else feels different now. Because gravity hasn't changed, but the price of a trip to the hospital has. Blue jeans, Jordans, gas, groceries, and health insurance. Everything is more expensive, and it's scaring us out of risk, innovation, and the joy of life itself. It was more affordable to fall, to fail, to get back up. And our parents trusted America enough to let us run free. Bankruptcy was for gamblers and crooked real estate developers, not middle-class families, not teachers, not cancer patients. I'm running for Congress because the fall of the American working class wasn't an accident. It was a political decision. Meet my congressman, French Hill, the most powerful banker in America. He's my opponent, but he's your problem too. He chairs the Financial Services Committee and fights anything that looks like consumer protection. The law to limit overdraft fees to $5.
This is a change that could save American households $5 billion in overdraft charges every year.
French Hill killed it. Yep, they even found a way to make being broke more expensive. If there's anybody who's gotta go, it's him. I'm blessed. I studied hard, earned 2 degrees from Morehouse College, then 2 masters and a PhD from MIT. I married my best friend, who's a combat veteran and an ER doctor. God gave us 3 beautiful daughters, and along that journey, I earned the votes of 319,000 Arkansans who believe we deserve better. I have good news for you. You can still go outside till the streetlights come on. We call it organizing. Just you and a few friends fighting for your freedom, standing up for each other. We have 12 months to win this election. We have a poll that makes this a 1-point race and a grassroots organization that has been growing for 3.5 years. This district is full of fighters. We're doing the hard work, and we need you to join us.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.